I'll make a motion to accept the December 23rd, 2020 special meeting minutes.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Treasurer's report, period ending December 31st, 2020.
The negative, well, we didn't get as much revenue in as we did. It was, that's what caused the negative figure, but at least still a plenty of money. A lot of it was transferred into the board now.
So basically you're saying we're the negative based on the budget.
Right, but we have the money.
Anything else to add to that, Jack?
Now I have nothing to add.
No. You checked and someone's trying to log in.
I'll make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Expense list, January 12th, 2021.
Make a motion to accept the expense list.
Motion is second, all those in favor? Okay, personal property damage claim for review.
Pickup truck again.
It's the pickup truck.
Yeah, that's actually mine, the pickup truck.
So are you stating the plow hit it?
Yeah, I believe, from how close it was cut to the front of my truck and how shallow my driveway is to the road, and I believe that he clipped it with the blade, because the way the blade is curved.
But I looked at the pictures, and looking at the pictures, it's hard to tell without standing there looking at it. But looking at the pictures, it looks like,
Is that the pictures from the police reports there?
yes,
Okay,
where your bumper wraps around the side of the truck, there's like scuff marks on the side too, as well as the front corner. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about just the actual, plastic trim grill stir. It looked like it was literally, if you look at the cut on the snow from where it was to my truck, it was within inches. I don't think it was intentional. I think, sir, he just clipped it with the top right corner and that busted a piece of plastic off. And that was the most damage. Now, that expense or whatever I have down on that paper, I didn't wanna try to come after it for that much, but I was told I had to go through that procedure. I just wanted the part replaced, sir. That's all I was looking for. And I could replace it myself.
There was a police report done.
Yep.
And from what the police report read, I don't think the plow, from the line of where the plow was to where the truck was, I don't think it was able to hit the truck from what.
It was, ma'am. It was literally, the cut was within inches of the front of my truck.
Do you have a copy of the police report?
Did the police investigate that?
Yep, they were there, sir.
And what did they determine? Was it hit by the blade?
They never gave me a determination.
Do you know anything?
They said
about
that it looks as if it was like the way the blades are curved on the trucks, just that top right corner might have clipped it.
I was asking that.
I'm aware of the event, but I don't know what the outcome was. I didn't investigate it.
It's hard to tell by a picture. I'm sure in person you could get a better idea of where the cut was in the snow and where the truck was in proximity.
Sure, there's not that much space in it, it's a shallow driveway as it
I
is.
saw it earlier and I can't find it now.
It's, well, it was probably emailed to you.
Why did they ask you to put down that amount?
That, I was asked to take my truck to get appraised for damage and cost of the fix and brought back here. So I did. I asked for a part originally, but then I was told I had to go through that process, so
Oh, you're saying you could fix it cheaper if you just did it yourself?
yeah, if I was just giving the part.
Do you know which officer investigated this one?
I don't. I think I learned about it also from June, but I don't know which officer did.
I think it was Smith.
I don't know why I can't find the police reports. I read it earlier.
Keith, did you go out there by any chance and take a look?
I did. I talked to the driver. I was on the street myself. Nobody hit the truck that they're reporting. I will note that I did see the neighbor snow blowing in front of his pickup in one of my passes that evening.
Yeah, he's pretty good. He usually doesn't blow snow at the front of my truck.
Oh,
That
it
makes
wasn't that
sense.
night. He was blowing it out in the street. I'm just using the edge that you're claiming shows proximity, could have been the snow blower and not the snow plow.
Do you guys have imagery here? Could you take a look at the front of my truck compared to where it was cut? You can see how close it actually was cut.
The pictures you mean?
Yes, sir.
Normally that works, but we can't get it to hook up tonight, so otherwise we could.
I'm not asking for that full amount. Like I said, just the part replacement. If it was any of your guys' vehicles, you'd understand why I'm here.
It doesn't seem like they're prepared to discuss this agenda item.
I'm not out here to attack you guys either. I'm just saying. Yes.
How much is this the part?
500.
It varies online. Find it. I don't care the lowest price you could get it. It's OEM. I don't care.
What is the, just give us, what is the price of the port, do you know? By chance?
500.
It's the front, yeah. It's rough. Yep.
Yeah.
Anywhere from 300, 500 from where I'm looking at. So.
I was just fearing not going, not going through the insurance because should something else then become wrong with
Right.
the truck, we're still responsible. Would that be correct there?
Something else wrong with his truck?
If we were to buy the part and he fixed it, which he says he's willing to do, I believe, that's what I heard. If that happened and something else breaks while installing the new part,
It's on me. I'd take liability for that. I'd sign a waiver or whatever. I just want the part replaced.
Yeah, it seems like a stretch, but it would really come down to whether the township caused the damage or it was foreseeably caused by the township.
well, again, from the look of the pictures, and it's hard to tell, I saw them on a computer. Do you have pictures? Did you take pictures?
I have a few, but nothing as good as the police report. He did a 360. And then, the truck's outside if you think. I mean, if you take that much to see it.
Cause they just, the hardest thing that and I'm not trying to, insult you in any way, but if one of our plow trucks came by, it's almost impossible for them to swipe something off the front of your truck you know what I mean, it's essentially that big. When their plow is half the width of the room.
Yeah,
You know
they're
what I
known
mean?
to
It's not
cut
gonna be that
close
clean
on
to
that
me.
street, sir, and then if you look at the blade, the way it's swept, it sweeps up and out. So, and the way, the height of my truck and where we're sitting, it looks like from there, cause I work on snowplow trucks, it looks like that could have been possible for that to be the case. I mean, I woke up, my truck was messed up, so,
Right.
and I heard plowing.
Would you be understanding if we looked into this a little bit more?
Gary can investigate it, absolutely.
Okay.
I'd like to see if the church across the street has video footage too as well. I don't know if they do, I doubt it. It's an old church, but it would be good to see if they do.
All right, thank you.
Mm.
So we'll investigate this.
Yeah, we'll talk Dr. Smith. If he feels the truck lifted,
Because the picture's taken by the police and then put on the computer and then sent to us. We're looking at fuzzy pictures.
yeah, you can't get perspective
No.
of the angle of the truck traveling.
Yeah.
And the cop that did report to my house did seem pretty certain that that was pretty plausible, so.
That's exactly who I'd like to talk to, actually, to get his opinion.
Yes, sir, understand.
Okay, little free food pantry suggestion. So it looks like they wanna set up over at the library.
And
That's
the
between them and the
library,
library.
the library welcomes it. Well, they asked the library, do you own your property? And they said, no, actually the township does. So that's why they're back here. But I think that'd be a great place to put it because a lot of people that are low income go there to use the internet and stuff. They'd probably benefit, it'd be a great place for it.
Anybody have a problem with that?
I think it's a good idea.
Rather have it there than here.
Fine with it.
We need to check it out, I mean, for the library to,
Yeah, but I think we should have, I would make a motion.
be a part of the location if he's got a mower.
Yes. They should have to talk with Keith before they put that in, because I don't know, he did come in here and tell us one time that he
It's
was,
just a post that goes in the ground.
Yeah, but
We
just-
need around the post.
we don't need a post in fiber optics or anything.
I'll, reach out to Maria, as far as I know, they're still COVID closed.
okay, so,
I'll make a motion that we put that.
I'll second it.
library.
all them in favor?
Aye.
Okay, RKO letter dated January 11th. Township's annual carnival.
Can you speak up a little bit? I can't hear you.
I can't get in this computer.
Well, you can have mine.
Can you hear any of us?
It's all muffled. And if I can't hear, people behind me probably can't either.
Can everyone in the back hear or no? No.
Speakers must not be working.
They were working on it.
Sir, can I ask you when your truck was hit?
December 17th,
December?
yes.
What date?
17th.
A month ago. And nobody has even,
It's not fully their fault.
they haven't even talked about it, it seems. Okay.
Is this letter in the packet in the back of the room? Was this letter in the packet? Because the letter you're referring that you're looking at, the packet.
Was it with no. Okay, so it looks like they want more information.
Yeah, they're looking for approval to, audit last year's carnival. And, they gave an estimate. They have concerns about basically all the receipts for expenditures and stuff.
Okay, we can't hear you, Alan.
Okay.
we're having a hard time hearing you, and we're up front.
Audience, you're not just speaking amongst yourselves, okay? Could you please speak up, all of you, or use the mic?
Can't you just turn the mics up?
I did turn them up. Can you hear now?
You, but never, not Alan.
Okay. We're looking to have RKL order the carnival.
Is there a reason we don't have that in the packet up front? Because everything else seems to be in there.
It came in late, I believe.
No, nor, well, I mean, I would think the pack was done later, because I didn't see the minutes, the agenda till late, so I figured,
Yeah, also, they're looking to order 2019, and they have all the way back to 2015. The concern is that it's never been audited. Somewhere along the line, the person that used to handle our account with RKL decided not to audit the carnival. I don't know if he was told from this office, or if they made the internal decision because it was such a low sum of money. But based on the volume of cash that went through that carnival, it should have been looked at every year for all these years, but it never was.
well, am I correct that the auditor left that company?
Yes.
So, I mean, that was something on the other auditor, more so than
So now
us.
they're
Yeah,
catching up and they want to do it.
yeah, but that's on the other auditor for not doing that.
They have everything.
Yeah, they have everything. Yeah, but the concern is, all along, we thought they had everything for like 5 years, 4 years, but we didn't. And no one ever mentioned anything. And every year the carnival got bigger, and every year we got the same amount or less from the carnival, small.
Are we still using this audit firm, or are we gonna change it? They should be doing it,
The auditor just changed.
The
within
auditor
the
just
internal.
changed.
but are we gonna change
I
firms?
think they ruled it was insignificant to our totals. And
Yeah.
that's why they didn't look at it
Initially, yeah.
initially.
Okay, so they want to move forward on this,
Right,
okay.
But weren't we looking at getting a different auditor firm
right, but we didn't get any response from them,
from the other firms?
from the other two firms
Okay.
that consulted.
Because I'm not real comfortable with the fact that all of a sudden, out of the blue, they're finding this stuff that makes me suspect of their auditors, to be totally honest.
Well,
And
we,
Jackson
Well,
and
no, it
Wheeler
was
didn't
just
got a
turned
response.
into them within the last year.
No, but they haven't done it for the last 5 years, and all of a sudden, they're making a deal about it. Makes me suspicious of them.
The township didn't have the information until last year, and we turned it in, and that's when they
decided they wanted to go forward.
Yeah, they wanted to look into it further.
Yeah, it just doesn't sound right.
They would have seen that there was being money being spent, whether there was, they should have asked for the paperwork before, I would think, right?
Well, the fellow called me, I don't know, a month ago or so, and he said he can't make heads or tails of this. And I said, what do you mean? I said, you should basically have a number of what we deposited, a number of income, and receipts for where that income came from. Oh, no, he says, I have all kinds of receipts in here for expenditures from the cash and everything. Well, whoa, I said, no, there shouldn't be any receipts for expenditures. I said, the expenditures should all be coming out of our checkbook here at the township through the treasurer. And he said he did have receipts for expenditures, so.
We need another we need to look further for a different attorney firm, because I'm sorry, but I've done accounting, and I'm sorry, but when you see something that just didn't match up, he would have seen stuff on the statements about the carnival. They should have been like, duh. You should have realized it. Even if he made a note saying we're not auditing it because of the value, they should have at least made a note about that. I'm very suspect that they're coming 5 years later, so I don't really personally trust them. Is there anywhere else we can look for, get a firm?
I'll keep sending inquiries.
Yeah.
now.
Who have
But
we
I gotta get a response from them.
where are you getting a list of other auditors from? Are
We
they
gotta get ones that do municipal government.
right? Yeah. All right. Well, basically, just contact the local jurisdictions, and there's an auditor list. Yeah.
Contact the bigger firms and
Yeah.
they'll lead you on to who you should
Yeah.
go.
I'll look for a list too, because it's very suspect.
Moving forward to finish the audit on
Yes.
Carnival.
We need a
We need a
motion.
motion, or can,
wanted was, cease and desist. We shouldn't book any more carnivals with tons of fun without the full board's approval prior to booking the carnival with tons of fun.
Says the auditor.
So is this the letter we don't have? Is that in that letter that we don't have?
What?
Is that in the letter we don't have? Is that physically in the letter that we're not?
These were going over suggestions that we had at the meeting.
Okay, well, I was told it was a letter, so the letter doesn't say cease and desist.
No, the letter
It just
is
a verbal.
an engagement letter.
Yeah.
Okay, draft zoning ordinance
Okay, we
amendment.
need to
I
vote.
would recommend you just let him provide a report back.
Okay, so we don't need to notify
Yeah.
tons of fun? Well,
Yeah, I
chance of
don't-
having a
I'd like to know where it says this.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I'm
would
asking.
recommend that you just, when I spoke to the guy, I suggested that he raise this issue with the full board. And if there's any recommendations that come from it, he should put that in a report.
Okay, so we don't need to address.
Yeah, I don't know that
first.
you wanna start addressing things.
That's what I was asking. I was saying, where was it in writing? We need that in writing.
Okay, so draft zoning ordinance amendment, keeping of farm animals. First PC comments updated.
Eric, I think at the last PC meeting, the PC members asked that the clerk's PC comments be received, so we just got those. So.
They just came in within the last few days, if I recall. Has the board reviewed this matter at all? It's probably still with the planning commission.
What are we talking about? I don't understand the agenda item.
So
Animals at our homes?
the residents of Caernarvon Township, wanna know, can they keep like chickens at their house? Primarily chickens was the animal in question. So we had to go over the ordinance to make sure that our ordinance covered having chickens at your house and being a responsible chicken pet owner. So
Okay.
that's what,
You know,
first
but-
of all, the planning commission had to look at it to make sure it was gonna work. And then they pass it to the board.
And
which
that's
is-
where we're at, we're both voting, okay. You know, if the meeting minutes were more, in-depth, more bullet items, I went back 2 years. I don't have a clue what was discussed at these meetings. And now, you know, I live in Mountaineer Village, everybody has chickens. So this is something that affects them, and this is the first
This is
I'm
for more
seeing anything about it.
residential.
Pardon me?
And this is for people more in like high density in town.
Like the houses back here.
Right.
Hycroft, Kenwood. You're in a development setting, but you
You're in the
eat,
country.
yeah, you have woods and yards.
I do, yes.
It's not forbidden in that
So,
village.
but this has been discussed at other meetings, and I never saw it listed and that it was going to be,
Did
and
you look under the planning commission meeting minutes?
the last ones,
It would have been the last
In
two,
the last
I
6 months, I
believe.
believe, yeah.
the
At
planning
least the
commission.
last two meetings. This has been.
Well,
going
wasn't
on.
it the special?
On the
Okay.
planning commission.
Planning
Brought to the
committee.
board, and we took it, we pushed it over to planning, because that's what they do.
So since this has not been raised yet with the board of supervisors, it would be my recommendation that you let the planning commission review the county's recommendations at its meeting next week. If the planning commission is satisfied, they can then recommend that you consider it favorably, and so it would probably be appropriate for your meeting next month.
How many people are on Zoom?
Joan, how many people are on your Zoom?
Right now,
Yeah.
there were 3, now it's 2.
Two. Okay, so next draft zoning ordinance amendment, medical marijuana facilities update, first county planning commission comments.
That one, the planning commission did review Burke's planning commission letter, but it needs to be incorporated into the draft ordinance.
So it should go back, because there was a number that's wrong in here, where they duplicated ordinance number, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that too will then be considered by the Township Planning Commission, and then if they recommend approval, it'll be brought back up to you.
Okay. IOP, renaming IOP district.
Did we get like a little synopsis what that is? I don't think people know what an IOP is.
That's why we're looking to rename.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying, but they don't know, they probably don't understand why we're doing this.
IOP
Okay.
is industrial office park. And part of the discussion of the IOP, industrial office park, is where the airport is now. That's considered industrial office park. So we find that that's a little unuseful and a little misleading in that people, developers, builders, think that that's industrial. So they, they wanna build, who knows, helipads, or who knows what they wanna build. So we need to rename that so that it's more suitable for the piece of property, along with that. I believe it was named IOP in the 70s. Would that be correct?
80s, I think.
Early 80s. So, another reason to rename that is to bring it up to date. Because IOP now is, no one uses
Why
it.
do we need an
Will all
acronym?
the IOP be changed to this, or is
Yes.
Well,
it?
just the name. It's
The
just the name
IOP,
that
we're
changed.
not changing the district of the IOP, we're only
Right.
changing the name.
I mean, I like the mixed-use growth district. I
Yes.
mean,
I didn't really have a whole lot of time to read this thing.
I thought they were discussing going with a commercial, like a C4 or something like that. See, you know what I mean? I must have missed the meeting where they decided not to include. It was, Donna Jeffries had been talking about a C district. Cause currently it's mostly all commercial type of, exposures by right, and there's no residential allowed.
Right.
And we were talking about allowing a mixed use. That's possibly why we're not pursuing the C, because there would be some residential allowed in the new.
Now, the C would be commercial. Depends on what number you give it, to what commercial use it's allowed. And, mixed use would be obviously that, some small business with homes. Because as of right now, IOP district doesn't allow for homes at all. There's no provision for homes, so, that's the misconception, you know what I mean? You have no homes and great big buildings.
So you're trading one acronym for another acronym.
And the purpose of the land too, right?
That's in the purpose.
New signs, everything has to be changed, more money.
No new signs, it
No
doesn't
maps.
require signs, it just requires the
Paperwork.
renaming, that's it.
But that's more money in paper, well, that's more money than the signs, the paperwork probably.
well, they're making changes anyway.
We
We're
are
just
also
looking to see
changing,
what name we wanna give it then.
we are also changing the uses of the property. So, and we feel that that's in the best interest of the township that takes place.
So we can build homes there, okay? Is that what you're saying?
More so than great big warehouses.
So I could build a house there if I wanted to buy a piece of property there, is that what you're saying?
Not right now.
Yes, not right now.
Yeah. We live in that, we live in that building, that's why.
When,
we're-
when then? When
Well,
are
I
you
don't
changing?
know, we're looking to update it,
You would have to
so-
buy that property.
Yeah, no, not all of it. Someone's gonna buy it and they're gonna turn it into lots, and we're gonna buy it and build houses there.
I don't know what they're
It
gonna do.
depends on
with
what
it.
planning does.
If you're
what we come
changing
back
the
with.
name, you're saying with that name change that we can build houses there.
No, not with the
You said
name change.
residential.
Not just because of the name change, no. That would come with the uses behind that name.
We're making it more specific right now because industrial office is very wide. Okay, someone could come in there and put a warehouse in there.
Well,
and,
sure.
You know, it doesn't necessarily mean a warehouse would go in there, but they could with the zoning the way it is. We're trying to kind of.
What's
narrow
wrong
it
with
down.
that? What's wrong with that? Look at what down the street from me in Robinson. I mean, what would be
Okay,
wrong with
well-
the warehouse?
depending upon what kind of warehouse it would be. If there's gonna be a lot of truck traffic, that's gonna be a big problem. You got a big warehouse in front of all them, $500,000 homes, that's gonna be a problem, so.
Seriously, we have a Sheets down here in front of all those houses, now we're having,
But we also have an industrial park for warehouses, so that's why we wanna try to make this a little bit more clear. I mean, we just got this morning, and I'd like to have a little bit more chance to look at it.
Police department body cameras, purchase update.
We have the cameras and not the server yet at this time.
And what's the word there, policy, what is that referring to? Under the body cam purchase?
We also prepared a policy,
On house use.
and I have since turned that policy over to Eric Brown for review.
But the police department is the one that wrote this?
Yeah, it's based off of the DA's office of Berks County.
Good. So, that means what, as far as our solicitor is concerned when he gets it? What does he do, what do you do with that then?
I don't know.
I'll review it to make sure that it's consistent with the municipal laws that the township has to follow, which is what I'm in the process of doing now.
Sorry.
Okay. Anything else? Township towing services.
Yeah, I'll speak to that. We're in the process of working with the department to prepare a tow policy at the board's request. So that's in progress, no action required of the board at this time.
Now, is that going to be made public?
Yeah.
Police mutual aid agreement.
Mutual aid agreement is currently getting reviewed by both township managers of Robinson and Caernarvon Township.
I provided the board with a draft of that agreement so you can get a start on reviewing it, but it's not ready for action. We're waiting to hear back from 2 other townships.
Police use of force policy.
Okay, I'd like some explanation here about this one also. Who makes this up?
Provided I provided Matt with a form use of force policy. And so when he has the opportunity to review and provide input, we'll then bring it to the board for its review and ultimate approval.
Wait, who's authoring this policy?
My office authorized